What's up, my friend? Welcome back to the Drone Camps show. Today I have a brand new Cinewhoop from GEPRC, and this one's still on pre-order. Right now it's still Chinese New Year. I think they're just about to come back from that, but today, before they all get back to work, I'm going to show you what's up with the brand new Cinelog30, and this one already is at the third version. So we're at the V3. It is a little kind of portable, lightweight, ultralight redesign from the bottom to the top with new LEDs on board, as you can see, which is pretty cool. And this one has the 04 air unit on there. This is the Pro version. We're gonna fly it today with the Goggles 3 and my Boxer with my TBS Crossfire module in the back. Now this one comes in about $400, bind and fly. That means without the goggles and the radio, but it does come with some pretty cool accessories. I got 3 different top plate mounts here for, say, something like a D-case GoPro. And honestly, with DJI 04, I'm finding that I need my GoPro less and less because I'm still getting 4K at 60 frames per second on this DJI 04 system, which is pretty cool. Now, this one you can fly at 720 milliamp battery, and you can get about 8 minutes flight time with that. If you want to crank it up to about an 850, I think you could get in the 10 to 11 minute range with something as cheap as a 4S 850 with an XT30 on there. So I think we should go and do some flying now. Let me fly with you inside the house, and then we'll do some FPV freestyle outside the house. Kind of same format, and we'll come back into the bench and we'll check out the Cinelog30 V3 together, and I'll let you know what's different about it. Let's do some flying.
You know what I'm saying? Ha 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 ha. Hands held high, raise them up to the sky. Never let them low, only thought you should know. Hands held high, raise them up to the sky. Never let them low, go. I got about 100 reasons to leave the party, but I will not. Got a lot of meaning to get to you when I'm in a spot. Thought about what's the season, oh yeah, summer feeling so hot. I could burn in my slumber, turn the lights off and let the beat drop. I'm the meanest rapper, meaning I feed on rappers a lot. I'm obscene, I need not encouragement, this the courage I got. Got a buzz going, so people heard of me, then I pop. Kinda was going, how you gonna tell me I gotta stop? Start another trend, and if you wanna get in on the ground floor, then what you holding up the wall standing around for? Call up my people and I know what they down for. We can stay up all night long, land home around 4. I'm on the land from my daytime lifestyle. We be going ham like cheese in this lifestyle. There's something about the nighttime like to feel nice out. So if you're still at home, I'm right outside the door like knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Yeah. First name, put your last hands in the air. Yeah, yeah. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? First name, put your hands in the air. Yeah. Hands held high, raise them up to the sky. Never let them low, only thought you should know. Hands held high, raise them up to the sky. Never let them low, only thought you should know. Hands held high, raise them up to the sky. Never let them low, only thought you should know. Hands held high, raise them up to the sky. Never let them low, go, go, go. I'm independent, I write them into my pen. If you want to party tonight, put them in the air like a pennant. I blow with the breeze, flow with the ease and eat all my spinach. I'm cold, I'm low in degrees, I could freeze a fiend in a minute. Demeaning rappers to me is too easy, need a new image. So many biters around, I should quit and become a dentist. Anyways, if you're feeling tight from your 9 to 5 and wanna cut loose and take a kind of ride, I'll be happy to accommodate, come on inside and put your hands where I can see them, that's my kind of vibe. I want a crib with a pool, a garden and promenade. I'd rather work more instead of trying to economize. I want a car with no roof on, my kind of ride. So even when I'm on the highway and I'm trying to drive, and this song come on the radio, it's kinda live. Everybody in the whip got room to hold them high. Hands held high, raise them up to the sky. Never let them low, only thought you should know. Hands held high, raise them up to the sky. Never let them low, only thought you should know. Hands held high, raise them up to the sky. Never let them low, only thought you should know. Hands held high, raise them up to the sky. Never let them low, go, go.
Sweet
All right, guys, welcome back from the flight test. Look at that. Look at it sitting there. That is a cool looking design. I mean, after 11 years of FPV drone reviews on my channel, man, they are starting to get cool looking. I really like a lot of the bright colors we're seeing recently with the Nimble 6.5 series, some of Beta FPV's frames coming out with the bright colors. I really do like this bright color trend because with the way of the world right now, we would rather our hobby FPV drones look more like something that's hobby oriented. You don't want it to look nefarious nowadays, and I think this one looks super cute, but at the same time, it's really performing well inside the house. I was able to get going quite fast in the house with control and also slow way down and be able to do those slow crawling cinema shots. Just lowering that camera down to level really changes a lot about the way this flies. And I think there's also some type of a little bit of tuning on the sticks to soften everything up, because by this point, GEPRC knows that people are using these for indoor real estate videos and smooth, slow cinema stuff. So when you back off the stick a little bit, it really does come almost to a stop and a hover, almost like it has optical flow. So it does have a really nice slow tune on here for the slowing down and the cinema shots. Now, outdoors, when I did crank this camera up to about 25 degrees, I was, I'm riding on, 1404 motors here. So the 4S battery on a 1404 motor is pretty powerful for freestyle. I'm able to do power loops with it. I didn't have any tumble. I also had to kind of reconfigure the way I'm flying around my own yard, blowing out in the corners because I had so much extra speed with these 1404 motors. They are quite peppy. So freestyle, no problem. Cinema, no problem. It'll do both. It does have some duality to this quad. So now we have a kind of a side view of this quad. It does have a lot lower profile than some of the other ones I've seen recently, and I like running this 4S 720 milliamp from sub 250 on here. It sits much lower, kind of in line with everything here, and I kind of like to be able to lower these back antennas, but this really does give you miles of range with this FPV system on here. It also has a built-in full-size buzzer in the very back here, and they took the cover off the TBS Nano and they made kind of a little staging in here for it. You can kind of see it there just underneath this top plate, which is kind of cool. We do have some inverted motors. We have 55 amp ESCs, or excuse me, 45 amp ESCs, and it is an AIO. It's the Taker F722. So this is the STM32 F722 RET6 version MCU, and it does have a gyro. That's an ICM 42688P. The firmware on here is also from GEPRC inside Betaflight, which is nice. We do have a firmware called GEPRC F722 AIO. Now, I was talking about the power of the 1404 motors earlier. These motors are the SpeedX 2 version series motors, 1404 3850 kV. Just spin that around there so you can see it. The kV is written kind of small, so that's hard to see. And we also have M2 hardware pretty much all over this quad. I also got two other colors of camera protection. When I pulled this out of the box, it didn't have this on there, so I put 2 bolts in the front and 2 bolts here, and it does have this decased GoPro spot right here, as well as some mini groms here and an understaged 04 camera system. If we just push it around right there, you can kind of see there are 4 grommets holding this in place, and we also have 2 struts coming off the front here that are aircraft aluminum. And these are the other 2 camera shrouds slash camera mounts, little mini camera mounts, the sort of gray one and the black one. I chose to go with the orange one just because it fit the whole theme of my quad. And I really like this kind of changeover to this orange color with GEPRC quads. And now you're looking at the bottom of the frame. You can see the LEDs here. They do plug in on this board right here. And just at the very bottom back of this frame is where a USB-C port is for your flight controller in Betaflight. That's pretty cool because that makes it convenient not having to go up inside here. Like years past, we had to figure out how we could get our USB connectors to the flight controller in between all the props and the frame and everything else, and it made it kind of difficult to get to. Now this new frame design, it has kind of a little bit of venting here for the 04. It's still pretty encased. It has a lot of protection for the enclosure here. It has 2 feet in the back, 2 feet in the front, and 2 on the sides. LEDs running all the way around, and they are encased inside here. And it has 2 hatches right here for binding up the 04 and USB-C access, as well as micro SD card access. So now you're looking at the very back of the quad, and you can see that little USB-C port right here. Just above that, there's actually a not a bind button, but a boot button, which is kind of nice. You can press on that, and if you need to flash the newest firmware, that's not a problem. They also lightened up the antenna off here, taking off those long struts that are usually on the Immortal T, kind of lightening that up, bringing it into the center. And then they also put these into TPU mount back here. So this is your dual antennas for your 04. Now, what I liked a lot about this frame, the color choice, the way it flies, everything seems to be pretty good here. One of the things I'm not really huge fan of is the little kind of covers here, the trapdoors for the access to the 04. I just think in years past, like I got on DJI for doing this on the original Avata 1, having that plastic snap canopy where you have to kind of push it down. And I didn't have any problems with it popping off during flight. It's just that sometimes you forget to put it back and it's right in line with the prop. So when you do fire up, it's going to let you know pretty quick. I did fire it up one time and it was hitting this and it didn't cause it any damage. So that's the outside of me being annoyed with this type of design. It didn't tear up when the prop hit it. I didn't try to take off or anything, but it was making a very clear noise that I was hitting it when I did power up. So one thing to look out for if you decide to get this one. Now the Cinelog30 V3 on the scale with a battery on there. This is the 4S 720 milliamp battery. That gets us up to a total takeoff weight of 260.3 grams. So that means if you're somebody who wants to not have to put remote ID on here, you want to have it at 250 or below, what I'm going to suggest is using a 4S, say something like a 550 milliamp, and you're still going to get at least 6 minutes flight time out of it. And with a lighter battery, in my opinion, if you're doing freestyle, it's going to freestyle even better for you. So a little bit lighter battery for freestyle and the larger 850 battery for the long flight times if you're looking to do cinema shots and set things up. That's probably the best choice there for cinema. Now, as far as accessories I got in the box, I got quite a bit of stuff in here. I got this extra frame. This is for the prop guards on the bottom, not the carbon composite frame. I got 2 extra camera shrouds and camera mounts, and I got an extra set of HQ props. These are the T76 millimeter by 3 V2 GRPC props. They're kind of a cinema style prop with a bullnose edge on there. Quite a bit of width to this. So if you want to fly a little more freestyle, you probably get a little bit narrower cord on a prop to make it a little bit smoother for freestyle and maybe actually loosen up some of the vibrations. I also got some GEPRC swag in there as well and some stickers, which GEPRC tends to do. There's the Cinebot 30, the V2, the Cinelog 35, and the Cinebot 25. Cinelog 20, Mark 5, Mod 7, and the Darkstar 20. That was a pretty cool quad. Now, I just realized one of my antennas had fallen off to the side, so I would recommend taking some type of zip tie maybe and going around this to hold that in place after you put it on. You might have to put actually a little bit of a hole through the back side of that. And I also noticed that these are not, this whole enclosure back here is not TPU. This is injection molded soft plastic back here. So that's quite an upgrade from just kind of a 3D printed add-on. Now, let's talk about some final thoughts. As far as who is this quad for? It's for people who want to do cinema. It's also for people who want to do mild freestyle. If you're not going to be trying to be like the next top freestyle guy, this would be a great little quad to learn acro with. Cinewhoops are very forgiving. They're pretty easy to take apart because this one has it has pretty much about a 4-bolt top plate release to get this off and get to your 04 and your flight controller under here. So pretty easy to work on, fairly cheap to buy batteries. My recommendations would be the 4S 720 milliamp and the 4S 850 milliamp for the maximum like 12-minute flight time and probably about an 8-minute flight time on this. And this is for people this year that are looking for an 04 type of quad for their DJI goggles 3, the N3s, I believe, And if you want to fly with the Boxer, you can do that. Or you can also get an ELRS receiver on it and fly it with that brand new GX12 from Radio Master. And it's also for people who are kind of looking to like finally ditch the GoPro this year. So I think if this was your primary quad on a professional shoot, you might be able to get away with using DJI 04 this year on some of your pro shoots. Let me know what some of you guys think about that, or if you would just put a little decased GoPro up top to get kind of the maximum best quality for your client. That's really up to the particular client that you're working with and the situation, honestly. But yeah, I would probably rate this one at about a 4.6, given maybe some of the hatch things on the bottom I'm not a huge fan of, but I really like the way it looks with the LEDs. The 1404 motors are pretty sick for people who want to fly freestyle, and I think it'll freestyle all day. Some of you guys who are much better freestyle pilots than me could probably really give this one some hell. So you can check this one down in our link down below. I'll put a few different versions down there. I'll put some links to batteries that I always recommend, and you guys can grab one if you enjoyed this review, and let me know if you got one on order. They're on pre-order right now, so when everybody gets back from Chinese New Year, GEPRC and all these other companies, they'll probably be shipping these out probably on the first batch. So if I were you, if you're thinking about grabbing one of these, get in before everybody else does, because it'll probably sell out on the first batch. And then if you're waiting, which does happen sometimes on batch 1 to batch 2, you might have like a month wait time. So just to let people know how ordering stuff from China works. So that's about it for today, guys. I appreciate you watching the channel. Stay tuned and subscribe and like on the channel to kind of raise us up in the algorithm, because you know we're kind of hated out there on YouTube these days. We gotta definitely reel back to the fun hobby side of our hobby and keep it hobby instead of what else is happening out there in the world with FPV. So we want to avoid that and keep it fun. FUN, that's what it's all about. Take care, guys. I'm Justin Davis. Happy FPV, and I will definitely see you on the next one. Bye-bye.